Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. Hope you are well. Give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me well. That would be awesome. But how are you all doing? Hello to all of my friends in the chat. And hopefully, I see quite a few of you here. Hopefully, more of you will join us and hang out. Today, we are just going to be chatting. I don't have an agenda. I would love to hear from you guys. Please definitely call in. I've put the link in the chat, so call in and share what what's on your mind with all the stuff that's happened during this week, whether it's Harry's court case, whether it's Piers Morgan, whether it's Harry and Meghan's Christmas card that some people seem to be having a conniption over. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Over a Christmas card, which some feel like it's not Christmassy enough, but I decorated it, so there you go. It's Christmassy. Whatever else is going on, whether it's Archwell, whether it's Archwell's impact, whether it's Archwell's finances, whatever you want to chat about, definitely feel free to call in. I'll give everyone 2 to 3 minutes to call in. Oh, I see Leslie is calling in already. Hang on, stay right there, Leslie. And whatever else you want to chat about, definitely call in or post it in the chat, and I will definitely, hopefully, get to all of it. But Leslie is here. Hello. Well, Leslie, stay right there. Let me just say hello to all of my friends in the chat first, and then we'll come and hear from Leslie. Raphael is here, Lakivia is here, and our awesome moderator Black Creed is here. Hello, guys. Mrs. S is here, and Lottie, and Joyce, and Olive. Wow. And our awesome moderator, Karen M, is here as well. Who else is in the chat with us? Paulette is here. And Dee Dee is here. Adrian is here. Hi, guys. Marina, Emmade. Hi. Fancy has just checked in. And so all of our other friends will say hi as we go along. But Leslie, where did you go? I was just about to click on Leslie and she went away. Leslie, call in again, please. I was literally just about to go click and she went away. So Leslie, definitely call back in. I'm going to paste the link again in the chat. Oh, here is Leslie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Leslie. How are you?
Yeah, I lost connection there for a second.
I was
wonderful.
Just like, where did she go? She was just here.
So,
how are you, my friend? What's up?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. This week was a very busy week. So, some of you may know, some of you don't know. My actual forte is I work in the medical field and I work in surgery. So and I'm a float surgical assistant. So I'm in same hospital, but different locations every day. And with surgery, you get a schedule, but you never know how it's going to happen in surgery. So sometimes I've been working, I'm supposed to work an 8-hour day and I end up working 12. But, and then I'm also in medical school as well.
Wow.
So I have 2 more years to complete and I'll be a physician assistant, a provider. So I have med school too. But in that
plus our legal scholar.
But in that I'm telling you, I love to read. So yes, I went and I downloaded all 386 pages of the verdict.
I just did it today. Like I literally downloaded both of them, the press summary and the other one.
Yes, I got the whole judicial thing. So I found a couple nuggets, but I'm not ready to. I have to dig to make sure that to find the supporting information for it because it's just the judge's verdict and and how he came to his decisions on each point. But I want to find the supporting documents publicly to support that. I don't know. I might venture. I don't want to do a YouTube channel because I don't want to put my face out there for the privacy of my patients and also for my patients. I don't want them to notice who I am neither. But I'm thinking I do have iMovie and I'm thinking I want to talk to you about this offline, Petal. You
Okay.
have my phone number. I
Yeah.
want to put a reel together, but I don't know how to do that. That maybe
Oh,
I
okay.
could send
Yeah,
to you.
definitely call me or something and we can
Yeah,
chat.
that I can send to you, and then you can edit and upload. But and another thing, another little side project I'm working on is because I really noticed. I would say maybe about 3 weeks before the verdict came out, I started, one of my other little hobbies is I love puzzles. I started realizing a pattern forming. And I think a really good, and this one's going to take me a while. I want to do from the moment that it was announced that Meghan was engaged to Harry to now and pull apart the two different versions because a lot of people don't realize there is the Daily Mail US, there is the Mirror US version, and it may be the similar article, but when you start reading it, they give different details or more details sometimes in the US version. And
Mm,
so I want to start taking and pulling out the twin articles and start, and so that's going to take me, I've already started an Excel spreadsheet on that. But for
mm-hmm,
legal reasons, I think this verdict is monumental.
mm-hmm,
One of the things that I do hone in on is people's words, not so much their actions, but their words. And I thought Piers Morgan's um, speech or whatever press release he gave was very interesting because someone went through that news press or briefing that he gave
mm-hmm.
because his words were very particular.
Oh, of
He
course. Yep.
said, I never told anybody and I never did it. But if
Mm-hmm,
you read the report, like, as I'm starting to read the document, he was never accused of that. No one ever said that.
mm-hmm.
No one ever said that. It was stated that he had to have known. There was
Right.
no way, as the editor, he turned a blind eye, and I think that's something that the tabloid media is throwing out there,
Mm-hmm.
and this, that, and the other. But and I thought it was so funny. I picture myself sometimes being on his commentary desk as one of his panels because I've got so much to throw out of him, and I wish someone would tell him at one point, you're not royal. You're just a pawn. You're the queen's pawn. And put it to him that way. And I think that'll shock him a little bit,
Well, the thing
just give him
is,
a little zap.
yeah, well, Piers Morgan, the thing is with Piers Morgan, I think even with that is Piers Morgan does not care about the royal family. No
No, he does
matter what
not.
he says, he literally doesn't. The only reason he does it is for a deflection. He knows when he says the royal family, that is what's going to get picked up. He
Yep. And I personally
from
think,
distracting from who he is. That's what
mhm,
he doesn't care about them.
just like when he came out with the two names, that
Mhm.
was an entire
Yeah,
PR stunt to
it's
cover up.
exactly.
Remember, a week before he came out and he referenced that tyrant that the family murdered. And then people started coming out and saying, oh my gosh, that's a threat. That's like what Jeremy Clarkson did. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden he overshadowed that narrative by releasing the names.
Exactly. And that's the thing that he is a genius at doing stuff like that. He's been doing it his whole career. It's about
Yep.
distraction, distraction. Give me attention, give me attention. I'm going to do whatever it is. If there's something that I don't want people to talk about, I'm going to put out there, oh, he is damaging his, or he's trashing the family or destroying the family because he knows
Hmm.
that's what the press is going to pick up on.
Yeah, and I'm very interested because no one has talked about this, and you'll see this, Petal, when you start reading it, the judicial report. No one is talking, and he does, and the judge goes through piece by piece of
Mm-hmm,
evidence in there. What did he find on the other two families? Because no one's talking about the Baroness, Miss
mm-hmm.
Lawrence, Baroness Lawrence, and her, what the judge found, because she also won in this case as well, and I'm interested in seeing what the next, hearing, I think it's in January, is going to come out with as well. Um, I do think it's odd. Have you noticed here? And here's another pattern. Like I said, I noticed patterns. Has anybody else noticed how quickly the narrative of, that William and Charles and William and his family are going to start traveling separately for security purposes? And then all of a sudden that narrative died. It went to bed because people were tying that into, well, if they are noticing security issues, then why are you not giving Harry security issues when he comes to London?
Mm.
And then all of a sudden that narrative died. It lasts, I think it was
Mm-hmm.
like, I think I 4.5 days is what I calculated that narrative was out there, and then it just
And then it
disappeared
died. Mm-hmm.
because it's shine like, well, if you feel this way in your own home country, what about all
Right.
the vitriol with Harry coming out? You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And why aren't you giving him security? And the
Yeah.
funny thing is that they're saying, oh, and his, I wish this is something, if there's any of Harry and Meghan's team out there listening, saying that he would pay for the Met Police and their police not for hire. Okay, how about this? You give me the security, and then whatever it would cost you, we will do it as a charitable donation back. Now you're not paying for the Met Police, but
Right.
you're putting your money back into the
Into
community,
charity. Yeah, that's a good
into a
idea.
European community. Okay, will cost 200,000 for me to come for a week. Okay, then I'm going to donate $200,000 to a food bank or something in, a charity that they're not a patron of. That's the other thing. It has to be
Right.
that they're
Yeah.
not a patron of, something local, a
Right.
local food
Yeah.
bank, or split it up, 20,000 for 10 food banks in the London area where we were at. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something to
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
effect.
Oh, okay.
And
That
they could
sounds
do
like
it
a good
that way.
idea.
You know what I
That's
mean?
although, I mean, I'm gonna go back to although people do pay for police protection, even though they keep lying about this all the time.
That
People
is
pay
true.
for
That
police
is
protection,
true.
like the what is the former prime minister? That's what he does. He reimburses the cops when he does something and they protect him. This is not something that they cannot do. They just don't want to do it, and they keep
Right.
lying, and the press keep elevating, and that lie, it's a
And
lie.
Charles is paying for Andrew's
So here,
protection.
I know, it's just like it's lies.
It's just like,
So
oh my gosh.
yeah, but
And
Leslie, two other people on waiting to
yep, I
come
just wanted to
on.
give you I think my feeling is we're going to get a verdict between Christmas and New Year's, or shortly, like January 4th is when the courts open back up here in Florida. I think we'll get a verdict on the Markle versus Markle
Oh
then.
God, I'm
I
so
think,
funny.
you know what I
That
mean?
one
I
I was
think we're
just
going to
like
do
trying
that.
to forget.
I
Like,
know,
I'm
I
so
know, but I think
irritated.
that's when we'll get. I
Yeah,
think that's
about
when that's
that.
gonna, yeah, that one's gonna end and be put to death on that
Yeah,
that aspect.
fingers crossed, because I'm like so sick of that. I was like, I am so over it.
And I'm
But
very happy to please overall, because I have been. I don't have Twitter, but I do scour like the YouTube and the Instagram
mhm,
of the Deranger shows and television. I have seen more women than men, and especially on Australia news, more anchor women fighting back and saying that's not true. This is what
mhm,
was said, and
right.
changing the narrative in a bit. So I think that's a
That
good
is
thing.
very good.
Well, I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. May God
Thank
bless
you,
you
my love.
all. May just remember, we make the plan, but He guides our steps.
Yeah.
And wish you all a very blessing and Merry Christmas. Pedal to you. I would love to see a couple more of New York in your Instagram. Like, can you go over to the Giant Candle by Yankee Candles, or Bed Bath and Beyond, and some of the other cool spots in New York? I
Okay,
want to see.
I
I
will
think
do
it's
that.
on. I think it's on the High Line where they used was it 60,000 LED lights to create an ocean of lights. I forget where. I didn't
Okay,
see where it was
so
at.
then I'll do some more New York shots and
Yes,
post
I
it.
love it. It makes me miss home. But
Oh,
anyways, blessings to
fantastic.
you. Send me
Bye,
an
my love.
email.
Happy holidays.
Goodbye. Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you, Leslie. And so we have Karen and Rohini. So we're gonna give everybody 3 minutes. Rohini, I see you. I'm just gonna go to Karen first, and then we'll get. So don't hang up, okay? Karen, my dear, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing, Petal? How
I
is
am good,
everyone
my
doing?
love.
Oh, I keep telling you to check your email, and you're not doing that. So
I did. I was in my email yesterday. I didn't see anything from you.
oh, you didn't?
No,
Okay, I'm gonna
I
have
was
to.
in. I check it. I try to check it just about every day.
Oh, okay. Because since I replied to you from your last one, I haven't heard back from you. So, but
Oh,
anyway,
well,
I'll
you know
reply.
what? I do get a lot of emails. So let me
Yeah.
check and see if maybe I did miss it. which could
Yeah,
be. So I'm
yeah,
gonna go back and check. But I was in there yesterday. I didn't see anything.
yeah. It was about like a week and a half ago.
Ah, that's weird. Okay, let me go back and check. But
Not a problem.
what's
Not a
up?
problem. Not a problem. So how are you doing? Okay.
I am good. I am good. I'm
Mm.
happy to
I
be
am
chatting
still in
with you
my
guys.
yeah. I'm still in my glee. It just Friday just put together all my whole holiday, mood, attitude, everything. It's just I'm still in my glee, and I'm just going with it. I'm getting to do my work freer, easier, my baking, everything. So
I'm assuming we're just in our glee because of Harry's victory.
exactly,
Yeah, of course.
exactly, exactly. I got a call like 5 o'clock in the morning from London, waking me up. Like, and the person said, Prince Harry said, "What happened? What happened to Prince Harry? What happened?" I was like, because I did not know about it. I did not know about a ruling coming down or anything. And you're calling me, and it's like from London and sending me up. Prince Harry's like, what happened to him? What happened? I was ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I posted it in our community, or at least I spoke about it on the podcast. So sorry.
Yeah, I know. When I check, your podcast came in like late like early that morning, 2 o'clock or something like that.
Ah, yes,
I
yes,
was
yes.
I was
Okay,
asleep by
gotcha.
then already. So yeah, but I was happy. I was happy of the verdict that came down,
Mm-hmm.
and like where else would it go? Like, I mean to say, this has been going on for decades,
Mm-hmm.
and the part that I can't understand, and I was looking at I think Byron mentioned it last night when I think it's Andrew Morton or something came on and was talking about he seems to be dwelling in the past and going backwards, and he's not moving forward, and I'm saying to myself, this is something that needs to get cleaned up
Mm-hmm.
before you can move forward. It's like,
Right.
I don't understand. People are talking about, mental health, mental illness, and, people going through whatever trauma. And unless you get over, I don't know if they're not listening to the doctors or, the people who are treating you for these things. Unless you deal with these things, you're not going to be able to move forward.
Exactly.
Okay. You
And that
have
is
to
the
deal
thing
with
that they don't seem to get.
Exactly. They don't seem to get that. And I'm surprised that Andrew Martin is coming out and talking about this when he was there when Diana was dealing with her stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
for her to get over it, she had to talk about it. She had to go back and relive it and put it in a book to get it out there for the public to know, because nobody knew what was happening to her and what she was going through. And it's the same thing Tyler Perry came up and say,
Mm-hmm.
when he caught wind of what was happening to Meghan, and both Harry and Meghan, it sent him back to what he saw with Diana walking through that airport. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these things still live on with you unless you're dealing with it. So he is dealing, and he's saying, he went back to reference his mom and stuff like that. So all these years, that's what he was seeing took him back to that time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in a way, he is kind of dealing with that, what he saw there, as he's helping them and seeing them go through that, so that that way he can move forward, with what happened to Diana back then. So
Mm-hmm.
we behave like things doesn't affect us, and it doesn't continue to affect us unless we deal with it. And this is exactly what Harry's doing. He has to deal with this in order to move forward. And he's not just dealing with it for himself. Okay. He also has to have the last word in terms of his life, because he has kids. His kids are growing up, and he's not gonna be leaving them with what the tabloids were saying about him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because like he said, Archie's gonna ask him when Archie grows up, he must be able to, and Archie ask him, what did you do about this? Okay. And he must be able to tell him and show him, this is what I did about this, because this is wrong. This is what things that happened to me and was saying about me, and all these wrong things that was happening and illegal things that was happening. And this is what I've done about it.
Right.
So he has all that, because if he does not deal with this and do this, okay, they're just left with whatever all these books out there about him, whatever the tabloids say about him, all the leaks and all that stuff, and the spin stories that was going out about him, if he don't take care of this.
Right.
This is not just for him, it's also for his kids. They have to grow up to know who their father really is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand, people not getting this. And on top of that, something, he's doing this for all of us.
Yep.
Okay, especially for the people in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, get free. This is what's been happening to you. Just get free.
Yeah.
Okay, get free. Take back your control. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
take back your control. It's, like he is sounding the alarm. Okay, there's a free world out there. You don't have to live the way you think. Those days are gone. You don't
Right.
have to live in those captivity. Okay, this is a
Yeah.
this is a change time.
Yeah.
So it's I am
So.
so happy. And it's not about the money. It's just about the
Mm-hmm.
principle of it. And that's exactly what he is doing in terms of this. This is history. This is history. None of them can touch this. None of them. When I saw this, I heard his speech and everything. It's the first thing I said to myself, oh my gosh, this sounds exactly like a speech of a monarch, of a speech of his
Harry is a
grandmother.
king. Yeah, he is totally king. Karen, I'm gonna have to cut you off because I
Exactly.
have Rohini's also waiting.
Mhm.
But I totally agree with that. That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, this is a speech of a king.
I need a good conversation about this. These short things, I need a good conversation, a good constructive conversation back and forth about this, about these talks. There's so much to say and so much to help people with.
Yeah.
That's it that's
Well, why
that
don't
people
you and
need help
I?
with
Why
and
don't
stuff
you and
like
I
that.
have a we? Why don't you and I do an episode? We chat and we can talk. We can talk at length about all of this.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I'd love
So
that. I'd love that.
okay, so let's
I'll
do
even
that because you
I'll,
have
e-
so
I'll
much,
even
and I feel bad to having to cut you off because I have
Not a
someone else
problem. I'll
waiting.
even
But
bring in Rohini. I'll even
yeah.
bring in Rohini. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, my love.
Bye, guys.
But
Love you
thank you
guys.
so much. But you and
Merry
I are gonna do
Christmas.
this
Happy New
episode.
Year. If I don't speak to you, take care, guys. Okay,
Okay,
I'll be sending you.
bye.
I'll be sending you some stuff. Check your email. Okay. Talk
I
to you.
will. I
Okay. Bye.
definitely will.
Bye,
And no,
guys.
what
Take care.
what Karen said is so true about just how that speech. It's exactly absolutely exactly what I thought. I was like, especially he's talking about slaying that dragon. I was like, that's the speech of a king. That is the speech of a king. And also, before I get to you, Rohini, this thing with Andrew Morton, with him talking about Harry needs to move on, I think people need to stop that nonsense, because just because you're ready to move on, that's you. Don't put that your timeline on somebody else's, whatever they're going through. They'll move on when they're ready. It is so rude and just so like, it's not your life. Who are you to tell someone to move on, or to move on, or dictate to someone when they need to move from here to there with whatever their past is? And I just feel like, dude, mind your business. You don't have to be a part of this man's. He didn't never invited you into his life. So that always bothers me when people like move on in your life. It's like, that's not for you to decide. But Rahini, hello, how are you?
Hi everybody. Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes, I can hear
Hi.
you.
I have been twerking since yesterday. I
You've been working.
I've been twerking and partying, and I know you from Trinidad, so I went parang last night and enjoyed myself. I was singing Alegria from the top of my lungs. And
Rahimi, you
Petal, I know
can't
you know
tell
what
us
that
that you're
is.
twerking and not send me a video. I mean, that is not acceptable. If you're gonna be twerking and whining and doing all
No.
that stuff, you gotta have to send me a video. Or it's like
No, I
video,
can't.
it
I
didn't
can't get
happen.
caught on camera. I can't. I can't. I can't.
Oh, all right. Oh no, what happened? Rohini went away. Rohini, call back in. She just went away there. Call back in, Rohini, quickly. We need to hear about your twerking, especially. Anyways, until Rohini calls back in, we um let's just look at see what you guys are saying in the chat. But Rohini, if you can hear me, please call back in. Let's chat. Let's complete your chat. Um, let's see. Um, Andrew says these people have tons of money off Harry's mother, and the ones she had around her are trying to destroy her son. Very, very true. Whether it's Morton or whatever that butler who likes to think of himself as working with Diana instead of working for Diana. It's like, dude, you were her butler. You weren't working with her. You were working for her. You know? And yeah, it just the whole thing of making money off of Princess Diana and her family is that's just where they are. And that's just what they've been doing. I mean, gosh, the woman has been dead for what, 25 years? And they are still sucking on her dry bones. Amazing. Little Max says, yes, I would love an episode with Karen and Petal. Yeah, so Karen and I are going to have to sit down and have because she has so much to say. And I always feel bad because I got to cut her off because I'm trying to also get other people in. But right now we've lost Rohini and she has not called in. So Rohini, please call back in. Or if anyone else call in, I'm just going to put that link in the chat again. And hopefully and others of you can call in so we can chat. I'd love to hear from you, whether it's about, again, the court case or whatever it is you want to chat about. Please call in and let us know. What else? Little Max says, and he's also being harassed by the British media. The car chase in New York is proof of that. So Harry cannot move on until he slays all those dragons. Exactly. And, you know, they behave like if it's something that you can't work on stuff you're doing for the future while you're working on the past. It's like, no, you can do both. He's like, he can actually walk and chew gum at the same time. So Rohini is back. Hello, Rohini.
Yes, I pressed the wrong thing. Oh my goodness.
Like,
listen, I have been so celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
I have been I have been enjoying myself so much. And I was, you know, I was slightly disappointed. I was only 15. And I thought that, you know, the money was too small. I think it needed to be in the millions.
Mm-hmm.
It needed to be 146 each. Each count.
Right.
Do you understand? Because this level of intrusion and criminal activity, because that's the key word there, no, criminal activity is really, really dangerous. And something that I'm very what's the word? I'm very upset with is that there are journalists. There's one oh my goodness. I think it's Novara Media. I don't know call them out, but I'm calling them out. Novara Media, they're very they're Republicans, so they don't really like the monarchy at all. So this is how they do it. And they're very condescending when they talk about, you know, Prince Harry having the wealth and the capacity to do this. But what they fail to realize is that this is just a symptom of a greater problem. The same issues, the same policies that allowed them to do what they did to celebrities and Prince Harry is the same policies that led them to the barrage of misinformation that caused Brexit. It's the same policies, it's the same behavior. You know, it's the same way they destroyed Jeremy Corbyn, right? And you don't understand that only somebody like Prince Harry could take them on. You all can't take them on. But it
Right.
takes somebody like that to do it. And now we're hearing that Labour is without a backbone right now, right? Um, this win is very significant
Mm-hmm.
because in Commonwealth law, and I could say that being from Trinidad and Tobago, it's pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's laws like these are very rarely made in Parliament. They always shy away from it. But
Right.
cases like this set a precedent. And
Mm-hmm.
this is important. When this precedent is set, it means that going forward, behaviors have to change.
Right.
They have to change because they can't continue the same way, because now this case is a reference point
Mm-hmm.
going forward for any new. It also, and one of their defense, one of the son's defense is that it's not that, oh, we didn't do it, but that the statute of limitations has run out.
Right.
It was too far in the past. Now, how many people in the past that they have done that to, that could
Mm-hmm.
now hold them accountable, that could now take them to court? And Prince Harry's lawsuit, the lawsuit set that precedent.
Right.
So going forward, and then it was in the High Court. I didn't know it was in the High Court, because
Mm-hmm.
the High Court it's very. I don't want to say it's not the highest court, because the highest court is the Privy Council,
Mm-hmm.
but because the Privy Council is the highest court for basically the whole of the Commonwealth,
Mm-hmm.
it's very inconvenient. Basically, all of them is fighting for seat on the for dates on the docket. So, in order to give all of these places a level of autonomy, the High Court ruling is really, really it's sacrosanct. It's permanent.
Mm-hmm.
I have a level of permanency and power once it comes from the High Court, because there's the Magistrates Court, the High Court, and the Privy Council.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are certain cases that go automatically to the High Court because how important these cases is, like, cases for unaliving people and so forth like that. But the fact that this case went straight there, it says that their case was really, really strong, and that
Mm-hmm.
is going to hold a lot of water going forward within England. And this precedent is really important because the government doesn't want to do their job. The government is in a bit of a love-hate relationship with the tabloids, because the tabloids are kingmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's strange to me that the hold that the tabloids have on the public. Most of us in the rest of the world, like in America, they know that there's a difference
Mm-hmm.
between the tabloid and the mainstream press. There's a distinctive difference between TMZ and CNN. They know
Right.
the difference. But England, it's like they're one in the same. And they have
Yes.
so much power over these people, right? So the government is not going to have is not incentivized to regulate them appropriately, right? But
Mm-hmm.
also, the the newspapers themselves, they are not going to regulate themselves because it
Right.
makes too much money. What the guy called the outrage industrial complex is very lucrative, so they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to do it. So unfortunately, what you have is this recipe where they are little children with a room with white walls and a whole box of crayons. They can
Mm-hmm.
do whatever they want, and there's
Exactly.
nobody that stop them. There's
Mm-hmm.
no. But this case here sets a precedent going forward, and it's really important. And I feel I was really disheartened by the fact that that individual who claims to be so knowledgeable doesn't understand the power of what he just did there, right? It opens the door for other people to hold the press accountable for lying, and that is the most dangerous thing. The press should not be able to lie. The
Mm-hmm.
press should not be able to intrude on private things. The press should not be able to break the law, but they're able to do it. But I
Mm-hmm.
am so happy for Prince Harry. I have been twerking all weekend, and it was a real welcomed happiness after rehashing the whole skin tone situation, which
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I had I had real thoughts in that, but nobody did a call in, so I couldn't give my thoughts. Uh, and
Well,
it
okay,
really
so give
upset
it give
me.
it to us in a minute.
It really upset me. It
Mhm,
really, really upset me. And to have this win is a good Christmas. Is a
mhm.
real good Christmas that we had here. But if I could do it in a real short time, if you
Yeah,
let me, this one
yeah.
thought
So
I
I'll
had
give you a minute
when it
to
came to
go
the skin
tell us
tone
what you thought
thing.
about the skin tone. Yeah, the skin
Right.
color.
So
Yeah.
all of my Caucasian brothers and sisters out there, you are very correct when you say that there are discussions about skin tone in black families. But what I want you to know is even when we do it, it is tinged with racism because internalized racism manifests itself as colorism and featureism in our communities. This is
Mhm,
why so many of us bleach our skin. When we
mhm,
talk about nice skin and good hair, we're talking about proximity to whiteness, right?
mhm,
And if you are telling me that you have a concern about this child's skin, it tells me that you are comfortable with creating an environment where people are comfortable coming after your family member. And we know that it's true because not once has the royal family defended has defended Archie and Meghan in this barrage of racist attacks they've had. So we know for sure that you were comfortable creating that environment. So I want to let you all know that even though you think you ate, when you say, hey, you all talk about it too, the fact is we shouldn't. We
right.
should not. So I wanted to make that right. And the last point is that they were already married. She was pregnant. Look at the timing. Is anybody talking about the timing of that? So you mean so it's so insidious that even after she is expecting her first child, you still trying to break them up. Because you know that whatever Harry can call it unconscious bias all he wants, he knows that conversation was uncomfortable enough to upset him, and you had
Mhm.
it more than once. You know it. So that means they are married, expecting a first child, and you're still trying to break them up. That is so insidious and it is so nasty. And I am not sure it is Catherine, but I think they flung her under the bus. But listen, this is what y'all wanted. Is what y'all
Mhm.
wanted. But in all of this, Prince Harry won. I hope he buys a new bicycle for Archie
Or
or
I like a
something,
camera.
or a tiara for Meghan. Like I think I've always said he needs to buy her a tiara with black diamonds for spite. But whatever he does, I'm so grateful. Squaddies, have a very, very Merry Christmas. A whole new year. I hope everybody eats a libelly boss. And I hope you do because that's what you do as Christmas. Put away the diet. We will start back in January because I plan to lose some weight. I'm trying to lose 100 pounds next year. So, guys, listen, we're going to start back in January. We're going to eat your belly full this year. Squaddies, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Rohini. Oh my goodness. You are a hoot. I love it. Thank you so much. And so many important points that Rohini pointed out there. And I love the fact that she just talked about that, concern about or questions about skin color. And you're so true. It is so true that even in those seemingly innocent, even among us Black people, we're like, oh, I wonder what his skin is going to be. Again, it is all, you can trace the root of that right back to slavery, because that the consciousness about the skin color. I mean, hello, I talked about here quite a bit about bleaching my skin and all of that stuff. It all comes back, the root of it is all from there. And so whether it's Black people doing it, white people doing it, whatever, the root of it is right back there. And so I'm so happy that she brought that up. Thank you so much, Rohini. Let me know, you guys in the chat, what you thought about Rohini and also Karen's comments. I would love to know. We can definitely go through it. And I think one of the things that Rohini brought up again too was about Harry's court case setting a precedent. And it's amazing. Now people are more and more willing to. I actually even saw this lady online saying that she was also, I think her daughter was killed, and then the press descended on her, and really invaded her privacy, and it was just so traumatic for her having to deal with her daughters, that and then the press invading her privacy, and she never sued, and now she's like, she's thinking of suing. The thing about it, and about suing again, is if you don't have the kind of funds, even though Harry's court case is setting a precedent of, you know, the what you can win if you sue the press. The problem is, again, it is so expensive to do it. It is so, I mean, we even saw, like with Harry's libel case, where Harry had to pay because he lost the motion. He had to pay 50,000, almost $50,000 in the Daily Mail court fees. Not regular folks don't have $50,000 if they lose a motion, you know. So that's why a lot of them don't sue, or if they sue, they settle out of court because they can't afford to take the case all the way. So the court, the fees to take these people to court need to be lowered. You need the government to step in and get it, the fees down to a place where regular folks can sue. And the reason why the press is doing what they do is because they know that regular people, they can invade people's privacy, and regular people don't have that kind of money to sue them. Not everybody's in the situation where Harry, he, you know, could win 100,000, 150,000, or 140,000 pounds, and it not be an issue for him. He's not there for the money. Not everybody can do that. And even with, you know, everyone's like, oh yeah, next election would be Labor. I'm sorry, even today, there was a quote, I think it was in The Guardian, talking about that Keir Starmer is backing away from any kind of changes when it comes to press reform. I mean, I knew that. I mean, I tweeted about that, I think it was in June, when Keir Starmer was at Rupert Murdoch's summer party. The moment I saw that, I knew, and I was tweeting about that. I'm like, if you think that press reform is going to happen under Keir Starmer, you make a big mistake, because he's not going to do it. And lo and behold, today, in light of Harry's court case, he's backing away. Why? Because he is firmly in Rupert Murdoch and the tabloid's bed. And so he knows if he doesn't say something, and if he doesn't back up the press, they're going to go after him. And there may be a chance that he, you know, he's going to miss out his chance of being prime minister, which I'm sure he thinks he's going to be. He's not going to do a thing. He's not going to do a thing. And that's the, you know, he's not going to, I'm sure Leveson Part 2 is dead. He's not going to do a thing, because why? He needs the tabloids. And he even said in an interview that he would even be open to doing articles for the Sun. And you're like, excuse me? Yeah, that's your labor leader. So in terms of this, when it comes to press reform, that's not going to happen under, definitely not going to happen under a Tory government. And as long as Keir Starmer is there, that's not going to happen under him either. Because again, article came out today. It's like, you know, in light of Harry's court victory, Keir Starmer has pretty much backed away from any of that, any kind of press reform. He wants it out there because the tabloids are angry right now. And just as Rohini, actually, who I put it on there, I think it was it Deb or someone was saying, and I had the post there a minute ago. She was saying that how the tabloids, you know, since his court case win is huge, you would think that would be on the front page of every tabloid. Nope. The only one that put Harry on the front page, The Guardian. Everyone else, everything else, with whether, again, as you can see on the screen, I just happen to have them there. All of them found other things that were much more important than Harry's court case win. Why? Because again, these people are not about the news. They're not about it. And this is a perfect example that this is like a mafia here. They all gang together and basically press the mute button. We saw them, for example, when Dan Wooten, that whole thing was really popular, well, not popular, but you know, that was the hot topic. Dan Wooten and all the mess that he was going through. the British press pressed the mute button. Nobody would talk about it. And it's like when there's something negative about the Sussexes, everybody talks about it. And it's like, I don't even know why. Again, if I'm in the UK, I don't know why I would even buy any of this stuff, because if you realize, like, from even from this little one, that these people are not about the news. They're not about facts. They're all about, there's a narrative that we want to put out there, and if it's not the narrative we want, we're pressing mute. We're not reporting about it. Or if the narrative is what we all want, we all put it there. Because again, it goes against especially the Sussexes or whomever else they have in their sights. And so it's very, very, it's just really sick. Yeah, it's so funny, and not funny, haha, because one of the things that Harry said in his statement, and actually one of the other reporters who testified in court, one of the things that they said is the reporting that was happening when Harry was in the UK testifying. And I remember going back through, I think it was Sky News had the daily that Harry was there, the daily, they basically bullet points everything that happened during the court. And then when you look at for example, as you can see here, some of the reporting, what was reported, it was completely different. They were basically giving Harry no chance at all to win, and they were mocking him and making fun of him, that he's, as you can see here, Harry's reality check, oh, this is not Oprah, this is all of this stuff that they were reporting was very, very different from what I knew it was different. Why? Because Sky News had the bullet points of exactly who was testifying, what they were testifying, and we did a couple of episodes with those bullet points. And it's the same thing Harry and this other reporter said, that the reality of what was happening in court was very, what the reporting of that was very different from what was happening in court. I mean, people were even, basically saying Harry had no chance to win. And look at, look at. And so it just is very, yeah. But let me go to the chat again. The link is, I'm going to put the link there again. Call in and share with us what else you have. Let's see. Rohini again. Rohini says Starmer wants to be Maruka's new baby, or Rupert Murdoch. Yep. And I'm sure he is. He's definitely firmly in Rupert Murdoch's bed. That's for sure. Didi says Keir Starmer is not representative of traditional labor. I don't know what traditional labor is, but that he's definitely, they voted him as head. So, I'm like, you have him, you have Jeremy Corbyn, and you're voting this guy. But hey, let's see. Oh, Rohini, you're definitely it. She's like, the British press just won the mute challenge. Yep, they have definitely won the mute challenge. They have definitely been mute about it. Definitely not. I'm assuming it's on their middle pages. They might reference it, but have a negative slant, as they usually do. They'll try to poke holes at the negative slant, as some of them reported, like, oh, 18, Harry didn't win 18 of the 33. They'll choose, that glass is half empty narrative instead of the fact that Harry won a major victory. Little Max says, Pedal, what I notice is that many times the stories use the same words, which make it very obvious that they're all getting their marching orders from the same place. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Sometimes they might fiddle around with the words, but it's usually the same. You could tell. It is very, very, very clear. That is very true. And yes, Didi, I 100% this. Starmer is a Tory in disguise. Yeah. I always call him Tory light. Yep. I absolutely agree with that. Oh, Karen, I see you there. So stay right there. What else you have to say? Let's see. Oh, and I'm looking at your post right now. It says the government, court, and police system need to change. People need to change. People should feel free to file charges when wrong is done to them without it costing them to bring charges. The setup is wrong. It allows harm. Absolutely true. And that is another issue because one of the things Harry really, as he said respectfully, asked that criminal charges like the police and others do their job and look into the criminal allegations against the Mirror News Group. And the thing that with the police and the tabloids, they have a very incestuous relationship. And so a lot of this stuff, the police is involved in a lot of ways. And I've talked about so many times, for example, whether it's Dan Wooten or Prince Andrew or those other people with their sexual charges and all of that stuff, they have not been, every time you see one of these things, it's like, oh, nothing has happened and no further investigation. And they have been letting these men and these people off. And there is this relationship between them that, for me, the police, the Metropolitan Police, have not been doing their job when it comes. They keep giving these people in certain press a pass. And so I think, honestly, there need to be an investigation into the Met Police Department as to if they are really investigating these cases and or are they just, again, doing the Prince Andrew, let's give him a pass thing. Let's give them a pass. Let's jump back to Karen for a couple minutes. Karen, hello. Welcome back.
Hi. Sorry. Thought I'll jump back in there. With Rohini, everything that she said, I agree with. Is exactly, my thoughts. We usually have, a lot of conversations by phone. So, but anyway, it's like Prince Harry said in his statement yesterday, there's a systematic problem. Okay. And that is what needs to be changed. Because, like I'm here, we have laws here. And when people are wrong, they're able to go file a report, have a case going and stuff like that. And there's no fear in doing that. And, these people are sitting there. This wrong has been happening to them, okay, for decades. Okay. And afraid, they're being held hostage, afraid to go and file charges, which allow the tabloid to continue doing. It gives them the control to continue doing what they're doing to these people. And the thing is that the other fear is that, it's such a class system over there that these people know that the tabloids, the police is, the tabloids are being, protected by the police. They're being protected by the monarchy. They're being protected by and the thing is that the monarchy also allow for this kind of behavior to happen because they too were involved in it. They too were allowing the hacks. They were allowing the leaking. They were giving all these information out. Okay, for this kind of behavior to go on. So it's a whole system. The whole system from the top all the way down. The government is part of it. Like everybody. Okay, it's part of this whole system. Okay, this was a windmill that Prince Harry was in. He has been, call all the different things, said all different things bad about him, Princess Diana, everything. There was no way out of this. Okay, and then you're asking why is he taking it to court? He has nothing to lose. He's been getting bad press from he was born. What else does he have to lose? Okay, even if you continue giving him more bad press, it's the same thing Ovid said. Omid said today. I was listening to him and Meredith. Okay, he said, he's been getting bad press all the time. Okay, so more bad press after the book is not a big deal for him.
Right.
Okay, you get used to it. Okay, but not doing something about it. That's where the problem lies. Okay, not doing something about it is where the problem lies. And, this case is so important for everyone. for everyone because it sets precedents. Okay, as Rohini said, it sets precedents for any future situation like that, problems like this. People who has been, held in this place, okay, from this media, from this government, from this monarchy, okay, to say no more, no more, and they have something to reference from. Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
what it's all about. This is this guy's life he's giving, his energy he's giving, everything for the people of the world, for the people of the UK to step out from this. Okay, so this is what he is putting out. He is putting out there, leaving his family, leaving his children. Okay, to continue to help you guys. You don't see William doing that. You don't see Charles doing that. You don't see the monarchy doing that. Okay, and they're supposed to be helping these people. They're supposed to
Right.
be standing up for these people. Okay, and this is not just going on in the UK. It's going on in the rest of the world too. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the places that this monarchy is what head of state of. Okay, this nonsense too. It's been going on in these places because y'all holding these people on this pedestal. Those days are done. It's done. There's no more. Okay, you have a voice now. You're educated now. You know that. Step out and do something about it.
Right.
Okay, the voices can raise up and it can be done something about. You have one voice out there who is trying to do something. Join and do the same thing. I was in tears. I'm gonna come off just now. I was almost in tears yesterday listening to James O'Brien. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
there was this woman that came on. James O'Brien, believe me, he got it. He couldn't even bring on anybody to speak on the thing because he says no. This is Prince Harry's time. This is his
Mm-hmm.
time. you know there was this woman that came on the day after, a couple after, and I think she's a doctor, and she has patients, and patients, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Patient. I
and
understand you.
and and her phone was hacked. And it happened some years ago. The police called her, tell her that her phone was hacked. She was shocked about it and she got scared because she have patients that's calling in with their private stuff on her phone.
Right.
Okay, and have these private messages from her family and stuff like that on her phone. Okay, and it really sent her off the mail with it. She filed charges, filed charges and stuff like that, but then they give her a settlement. Okay, she I don't even know if she filed charges, but whatever, this settlement thing that was going around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she ended up taking the settlement. She also have a son who has some you know disability or whatever it is, and like, when the school call her, when her son has to go to whatever his program is, and all that stuff is on her phone. So all these
Wow.
things, these people got and affected her life in such a
Mm-hmm.
big way. And when they take these settlement, and she is still, and this happened some years ago where she take the settlement. And with Prince Harry thing coming out, it started everything all over again. And she
Right.
was so upset and crying about it because it still affect her life. And
Of
she can't even
course.
and taking that settlement is agreeing not to talk about what happened to them, because she
Mm-hmm.
can't even go in and talk about the details of what was happening. She can't talk about it. Okay, so the settlement is a way to shut you up and cut
And
you
then
off
they
from
keep
talking
doing the
about
same
it,
thing over and over.
and then
Yep.
they continue doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous when you think of it. Can you imagine? Just put yourself in that place, that you've been living all your life in a place where something like this is happening to you. Okay, it's bad enough as a colored person, as a black person, or whatever it is. You have to get up every day. Okay, and you have to deal with all the stuff that's going on out there, with the strikes against you because you're black, or because you have this, you have an accent, or you have this or whatever, and you have to go into work every day, put on those shields, and deal with all this stuff. Okay, and then this is something on top of it, with your phone
Mm-hmm.
being hacked, and this is like a cultural thing. It seems that they were going on with over there. Can you
Mm-hmm.
imagine that? On top of that, it's it's just it's sick. It's like
It's,
really really sick.
it is really really sick. I mean, there is this reporter. Her name is Denise. Oh shoot, I forgot what her last name is, but Graham Johnson, who actually testified on behalf of Harry's team. He was also a reporter from the Mirror and also News of the World, and he actually, his bosses at the Mirror, I think it was at the Mirror, had him hack Denise's phone and hack her hotel room. And I
Yeah,
mean, they were able, to sit down and talk about it, but it's just it was a while ago. But to hear her talk about it, she is still so devastated. I mean, I don't know how you get over that kind of
you can't
violation.
get over
This
some. You
person you
can't get
don't
over
even
something like
know.
this. And one of the serious thing that we're missing here, this has been happening to everyone who was in association with Prince Harry. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
his ex-girlfriend. Okay, they got her doctors. Okay, her medical information, her doctor information. Can you imagine this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
can you imagine this? Okay,
yeah.
she gotta live with that for the rest of her life. Okay, what information did they get? What medical information did they get? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
from her doctor. She has to worry. Did they put it out there? Are they gonna be putting it out there? Like, what is in their hands? Okay,
Yeah,
can you imagine having to
yeah.
deal with that, having to live like that? Okay, one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that I'm so thankful of is that Meghan did not go to that damn hospital that all
Mm-hmm.
of them go to. Okay,
Yeah.
because can you imagine what would have happened? Okay, with that information. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because they could not. They're talking about the color of her children's skin. Okay, can you imagine them working on a black woman? Okay, who is pregnant and they're delivering her child and delivering her child. I can
Mm-hmm.
imagine those doctors, they're just glad to put their hand on a black woman who's delivering her child to get that information out there. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
it is. No, I don't even want to imagine because
exactly.
it is horrifying. It is
It is
absolutely
horrifying.
absolutely horrifying.
It is so deep and
Yeah.
horrifying. It
And
is really deep.
Karen, and I don't even know if you realize or if you guys realize, there's like over 100 claimants in this case alone. Harry and those guys were only four. There's like
150.
it was
150.
150.
This,
A
yes,
part of that 150 is Chelsea Davy. Chelsea Davy also has a
exactly.
claim against them. So I
Exactly.
don't, yeah. So I
Okay.
didn't realize until yesterday that I saw her name on the list, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she has a separate claim
And
against the Mirror."
that's why I brought it up,
Yeah.
because nobody's mentioning her, because Harry did talk about her in his
Mm-hmm.
when he did his give his testimony. He did talk about her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what they did to her. Okay, and I was so proud of him for doing that. So he is not he it's all this fight is going all the way back to how they affected his life and the
Mm-hmm.
people that was in his life, and he
Yeah.
was making sure that they don't come forward and do it to his wife and his children right now. Okay, and
Right.
this is what the fight is all about. Okay, they did such bad things to that girl, because she was they're flying on the plane with her, asking her questions, bringing it out in the thing, got her doctor's information, hacked her phone to know
Mm-hmm.
when she and Harry's going to be meeting and all these different stuff. Okay, and then there was some pregnant situation or whatever it is that had come up. Okay, back then, because they want to know if that's why they got her doctors. They wanted to know if she was pregnant or if she had an abortion or all these different. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Okay, and this woman has to go forward in her life. Okay, have her husband. Okay, and her kids. Okay, so Prince Harry doing this, okay, is setting the record out there that any information that is out there, okay, about anybody in these cases, about him, okay, this is the reason why it's out there. It's
Mm-hmm.
was illegal, okay, gathering information. It was hacking, okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is why these information are out there. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is where he's setting the precedents for now and the future, and for all the kids that are going to be born later and growing up and reading about all of this. Okay, this is what it's all. This is history in the making. Something that the royal family should have been taken care of, should have had their foot down on. Okay, William is going to be heir, he's heir to the thing, going to be king or whatever it is. What did
Mm-hmm.
he do? Okay, he took a settlement and leave all these people out there, all these
Mm-hmm.
people out there at the mercy, okay, of these tabloids. He was even feeding his brother to these tabloids, okay, and he's supposed to be king of England, yeah,
Yep.
okay. And Charles know all this was going on and was even feeding his son and have his wife doing the same thing, okay. He didn't care about his children. All he cared about was Camilla,
Mm-hmm.
protecting himself and protecting Camilla. Okay,
Yep.
he was never a father to those children, never a father to, especially to Harry. Okay, when you have these people berating your son, okay, from a very young age, a toddler, teenager, everything, and he has to, and now, and you're wondering why, okay, he is so angry or have rage or whatever it is. He lived through this. He
Mm-hmm.
lived through this. I am so surprised, okay, that he is with us today, okay, after all this he's gone through, okay.
Yeah.
There's so many people that we lost because of this behavior
Mm-hmm.
and behavior similar to this. We've lost our kids in school to this behavior and behavior similar to this, okay. And then you're asking why he's doing this. It's to save the other set, the other set that could be going through this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it needs to stop. Okay,
Right.
I put in my head, I think about my brothers, I think about my children, I think about my nieces, my nephews, my you know anybody in my family that has to go through something like this
Right.
and live something like this. It's not good. It's not a good feel. This is hostage taking. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot go on like this. You cannot go on living your life like this. And somebody is there, okay, helping to stop this, okay, has the strength of his wife to show him that no, this is not right, okay. I am not taking this. They're not going to do this to me. They have been doing this to you and your people all the time, and somebody needs to stand up, okay.
Right.
And now he has somebody by his side to
Mm-hmm.
give him the strength to do that, okay. He's
Right.
lost his mother, and now you guys are questioning it. I see
Mm-hmm.
reporters even now coming to talk out and turn on themselves. Okay. I lift my hat to Omid because he set the example, and I was so glad that the judge, okay, call out his name, because you know
Mm-hmm.
something, that did something for Ovid for Omid to show that this is a stand-up person and this is what you're supposed to be setting the example and being
Mm-hmm.
like. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so and all of those other reporters, they're going to be falling on themselves because all of them now is going to want their name to be in a good book. Okay, with their
Right.
life, the world is not believing you no more. Enough is
Right.
enough.
And I think, as you know, I'm glad you brought up Omid, because I think it was very important, because they had this narrative going there that Omid is a liar, he's all of this stuff. And to
Mhm,
see it on a legal document where the judge is
mhm,
like, nope, I
mhm.
believe his testimony. He is very upstanding. It was correct. And the Mirror did not present anything to conflict what he said.
No,
And that
no,
was very, very important. And so I was very, very happy to see that. And
that
yeah.
that was so monumental.
Yeah.
It was so good, and you can see that the judge felt so good having to put that out there.
Yeah. Because
Okay,
I mean,
having to
for
put that,
Omid
because
too.
it sends a message to the rest of them that
Hmm.
this is going to stop now. It's
Right.
going to stop now because you are going to be called out for it, and this is what's
Right.
going to be happening. You
Yeah.
know.
And finally, Karen, just before you go, what did you think about, because the day before, we were talking about the day before, that was when that was the 2 a.m. drop video that I dropped about King Charles being in court the day before, even though, they're saying, oh, it was for a different reason.
No.
What, when you saw that, like, what was your take on him being in court 24 hours before, or at least being in and the same court that one Harry went and gave testimony, and then they were the ones that was going to, announce the verdict, and he went there 24 hours meeting with justices and all of the barristers and stuff in that same court. What was your thinking when you heard about that?
Listen, that was ridiculous. My thing is something happened there, because something, I think is even more than 15 counts. I think it's even more than 15, and I think that he went there because their names are going to be called. Okay, if this was to go to trial, their names were going to be called. Okay, in all this hacking and leaking and all these different things. Okay, because they know, just like how Piers Morgan knew it was going on. Mm-hmm. Okay, the royal family knew that all this was going on. Okay, and I would not be surprised even if they were, giving them, Harry's information, okay, to do all this stuff. Okay, but it's so when I saw that, okay, and it just did not surprise me much, because I always keep saying, do not trust Charles. I keep saying that all the time. Do not trust. Every time I come on and I put a message in there, I keep saying, do not trust Charles. Charles is a underhanded, okay? He is an underhanded, devious person, and he will go to his grave, okay, just trying to protect himself and his image, okay, and his image. And he don't matter what it is. Once he protect himself and he protect Camilla, okay, and that monarchy, he will throw anybody under the bus and do whatever it takes. Okay? Yes, you have it. The court is the king or the queen courts or whatever it is. Like that nonsense should stop. That should stop. Yeah. Because he feel that he had the right to go there and then using excuse, okay, about you going there to tell them what a good job they're doing. They don't need you to go there and tell them they're lawyers and judges and magistrates inside of there. They don't need you to go and tell them what a good job they're doing, or the people who are working there to tell them what a good job they're doing. They don't need that. Okay? That is what they study for. That is what they have more, higher education than you. They don't need you to go and tell them that. And then you're going there the day before, because you know that this verdict was coming down. You know the ruling was coming down. Okay, that you're going to show up there the day before. When your son, you told your son, okay, that it's suicidal for him to do this. Okay, you wanted him to drop the case, not to go after the media and all these different stuff. Okay, and you're showing up there 24 hours before it come down. Huh? You didn't want him to do this. Okay, he knows exactly what he was doing. That is total intimidation. Okay, and whatever else was happening there. There's no way, as much as it's your court, you should have nothing to do with it, because those people have a job to do. They have a job to do. And when you go there, what is it saying to the other rest of people out there if they have to go and file a case? Because everybody, okay, in the UK is about the monarchy. Okay, according to Piers Morgan, okay, the royal family, the monarchy, and Harry's bringing down the monarchy. So anybody now, he goes showing up at the court, anybody now who wants to go and file a charge that with their hacking or whatever is going on, or the monarchy is doing something wrong or encouraging all this stuff, what are they supposed to be afraid of this stuff?
Which was exactly my point when I saw it. I was like, well, who's now going to be feeling confident? Because one of the things that Judiciary UK tweeted when they tweeted out those photos, they were like, Charles was there basically to reaffirm their great relationship. I'm like, why do you have a great relationship? Or with shouldn't there be separation? Why
There
are
should be
you tweeting
separation
about your
with the
great
court.
relationship with the monarchy? That's just there needs to be separation.
The
How
monarchy are there to represent the people. Okay, the monarchy should not have no great relationship with the government or the courts.
exactly?
They
Because
should not
it's
have
exactly was
anything.
my point. That was exactly you just said exactly was my point. If someone were to then, if something the monarchy and they need to sue one of the palaces for something, you just sold us what a great relationship you had with them. So then, how do I
So
feel
nothing is going to
confident that
happen.
that you'll be
Nothing is going
fair?
to happen. Nothing is going to happen. And that's what it, Charles is doing these things, and Charles always do. If you look at it, he always just like Leslie was saying, they always use these words. Charles always, if you look at how Charles behaved, and I keep saying don't trust him, he always do all these underhanded, okay? All these underhanded things. Okay, thinking that people are not gonna pick up it. Not me. I pick up on everything.
Yeah, I think
Okay?
the squad picks up on every day. Well, Karen, I
Okay?
think I gotta go,
Not a
unfortunately.
problem. Not
Thank
a
you so much
problem.
for coming back on. And
Not a problem.
man, yeah, everything you said was yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, bye, squaddies. Talk to you guys. Enjoy. Take care, sweetie.
Thank you,
Okay,
my love.
bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye. Wow, very powerful. Thank you so much, Karen. I think that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out, and thank you, Karen. Thank you, Rohini, and thank you, Leslie F, for sharing your thoughts. But yeah, I'm so yeah, exactly what Karen was saying about that court visit. I'm like, that was just like, dude. I mean, even if you made that, if you say, for example, give him the benefit of a doubt that he made that appointment weeks ago and it just so happens to fall 24 hours before Harry's verdict. This is one of them you cancel. You don't go ahead and do that. That is just the stupidest thing that I'm like, you cancel it. You don't go ahead and do stuff like that. Because I look at that and I'm like, how could ever I have confidence in this? That there should definitely be a drastic separation. And I agree with Karen. That King's Court, Queen's Court nonsense needs to go. Those titles, those QC and all of those things need to go. Because again, you need to have that separation. And so that's why it's really weird in the UK how they have set that up. And it's just like, yeah. Anyways, guys, I think that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Karen M. I'm sorry. Thank you, Karen M. Lydia Churchnelly, Black Queen, Cookies and Cream. Oh, thank you, Lydia, for your donation, your super sticker. Thank you, always supporting. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thank you to all of our 2 Cents crew for just supporting the channel on a monthly basis, and all of you who support like these super stickers in the chat and everything. Thank you all so very much. I love you all, guys. I am off to eat some food because I am starving, and I will catch you later. Bye.